Good morning, Chicago Cubs fans. We are back with another edition of Cubs Daily. My name is Steven Ryan. The Cubs get back on the winning path with a 4-1 victory over the Toronto Blue Jays. We're going to talk about Cade Horton and his development so far. We had some big injury news that led to a very, very epic call-up, and we will preview the series finale, which is going to happen early afternoon today. But before we get into all that, just want to give everyone a big time thank you, a shout out. Appreciate your support in the channel, continuing to share your thoughts and liking the videos, etc., etc. You guys and gals are the absolute best. So the Cubs get the job done yesterday, 4-1, a clean victory for this team. There was a couple of homers. There was a sacrifice fly. There was manufacturing runs. It was good to see from this offense, even though there are some numbers. For example, Kyle Tucker, I believe he had an 0-for, but he hit the ball hard to center field. That was encouraging to see as well. Matt Shaw continues to develop into a very, very fine young third baseman. Michael Busch gets off the schneid, hitting a home run. PCA still struggling a little bit, but I think we're starting to turn a corner with this offense. The Cubs needed a victory like this one yesterday, right? Where, it was a little bit stressful. It necessarily wasn't a blowout per se, because if you remember recently, a lot of the Cubs victories have been blowouts when they do win games. But I think the Cubs just need to sweat a little bit and win the game that way just to get their confidence rolling again. And again, we can't talk good enough things about our young up-and-coming ace, Cade Horton, who we will get to in a moment. He went 5 2/3. We brought in some bullpen guys. They held front for as much as they could. And then Danny Palencia, who just throws gas, just throws straight heat down the chute and was able to seal the deal for this Cubs team, which is what you want to see. And now we're in position to go win a series against one of the best teams in the American League. All right, so we did unfortunately have another injury yesterday. The guy I was personally very, very excited about. I was very excited about Miguel Amaya's return. I thought he could provide a spark potentially to this offense. Again, before his injury, he was one of the top 12 players with WAR, and even up to his return, he was still one of the top 12 Cubs in WAR. And so yesterday he was hustling out a single in the 8th inning, trying our best to keep this offense going, and unfortunately, he landed on the base wrong, and it didn't look pretty. He had to be carted off the field. It was gut-wrenching. It felt like I couldn't listen to the game, but I was able to watch, and it just didn't look good at all. X-rays did come back negative, thankfully, so he is, negative on that front. He is going to go to the IL, though. Not saying I'm a Major League Baseball player or anything, but I have had a sprained ankle before, and half my foot was purple. So, believe it or not, there's definitely a lot of different levels to the word sprained ankle. So, hopefully a speedy recovery for Miguel Amaya, but I don't want to say there's a silver lining, because that's not the case here. I really wanted Miguel Amaya to play, because I think he was hustling down the line. He just gave it all in that moment for this team. But the Cubs are going to be calling up number 1 prospect Owen Casey, according to Jesse Rogers, after the injury last night. So we're all getting what we want, right? We're going to get the kid a cup of coffee at the big league level. Let's see what he can provide for this Cubs team, because we need a spark. We need something. Okay, yes, we did get the victory yesterday, which is what you like to see, but we need to spark a rally. We need to string together 3 wins in a row. We're good enough to win 3 games in a row. I genuinely do believe that. Maybe we're not the Milwaukee Brewers. That's fine. I've mostly accepted that as a fan. We're focusing on the wild card. I'm personally just trying to focus on winning baseball games and getting better day by day in preparation for a postseason push. So, hopefully, we get to see Casey. He comes up, and he can provide that spark that this team so desperately needs. Now, they said he might be playing today. I'm not 100% sure what the plan for him is. We have a day off. Today is Thursday. We are at home against Pittsburgh tomorrow, so I'm not sure if they want him to make his debut then. I'm not sure if he's going to play left for Hap or just DH. We shall see what the plan is. Lineups are going to come out in a few hours since the Cubs play early this afternoon in the series finale. But before we preview that series finale, let's just talk about how special Cade Horton was last night, okay? I think MLB jinxed him, MLB.com, when I was following on game day for a little bit. It said no hitter entering the sixth, and I'm just like, why would you say that? Let the kid pitch. Just let him keep pitching. And the sixth is where he ran into quote-unquote trouble. A couple of runners got on. I know a lot of people are up in arms about, taking him out because he was rolling, right? He was rolling. He was pitching well. I understand why they're taking him out, okay? There's a lot of data behind the fact that once you get through the third time through an order, they see the ball a lot better, which just in turn makes general sense, You don't want to overexpose him. He's young. Now, again, maybe 5 years from now, Cade Horton, he will be in that moment and we'll be like, okay, go pitch, He just needs more experience. And what this run he is on right now, unbelievable. A few weeks ago, it was him and Paul Skeens with the most starts of 5 innings, no earned runs since June 1st. I'm pretty sure now, especially after the last start of Mr. Skeens, it's just Cade Horton in a class all by himself. 5 more runs, no earned run, 5 more innings, no earned runs again. I'm not sure if that one run he earned was counted against him for a scoreless streak, but when they took him out of the game, he was at 28.1 consecutive innings of scoreless baseball. Again, it's about the development, right? What you really like to see last night is the swing and miss stuff. 8 strikeouts, no walks. That is what you really like to see as a Cubs fan. Is he our number 1 pitcher right now? No. But maybe the solution to the problem we all want, again, is in the house. It's just needs to cook a little bit longer, right? Matt Shaw has obviously turning a corner. He went yard again yesterday. It's a progress, right? It's a slow build up. We all want things now. We all want the results now. But I think it's really starting to come together for Cade Horton and Matt Shaw specifically. And I think that's what's going to propel this Cubs team to great heights in the future. Maybe not 2025 like we all want, but in the near future, 26, 27, et cetera, et cetera. And now we get to see Casey, and maybe he could provide that spark and be like, oh, well, maybe he'll be a part of the future plans, right? So we got the series finale today in Toronto. The Cubs are in position to go out and take a series, which is exactly what I love to see. So, can we do it? I absolutely think we can. We have our best pitcher so far of the year going on the mound, and that is Matthew Boyd. Matthew Boyd has just been an absolute force all season long. The real weird part with Matt Boyd, though, is we haven't won a couple of these last starts for him, and I don't get it. I don't get why we can't win for him. He pitches so well. So hopefully he can just continue to do that. We are facing Max Scherzer. He's going to be a future MLB Hall of Famer. He's an absolute stud, but he's a little bit on the older side. He's got a 4.21 ERA. It's going to be a really good matchup today. Not a lot of experience against Max Scherzer, and there's some Blue Jays that have some moderate success against Matt Boyd, like Bo Bichette. He's 2 for 2 against him with a home run. Vlad Jr.'s 1 for 2 against him. Otherwise, it's kind of an even matchup in terms of all the players that have seen each of these pitchers. And so I'm curious to see how that's going to shake out. Whose stuff is moving best? That is the real question. But the Brewers do not play today, so the Cubs do have a chance to gain a half game. And again, I know divisions lost, but it doesn't mean you can't strive for things, right? 7.5 is still very doable. It's only the middle of August. It's still very doable, but we need to start getting the wheels turning now. Let's start by winning 2 games in a row, right? That's the main goal. So that's going to do it for today's edition of Cubs Daily. Again, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and continue to share your thoughts in the comment section. I hope you all have a fantastic Thursday, and I will see you all very, very soon.